Hey everyone, and welcome back to Soft Mind. I'm Dr. Cola B. Today, we have to talk about the one question that haunts almost everyone in the quiet, lonely weeks and months after a difficult breakup. It's the question that keeps you checking your phone, rereading old texts, and analyzing their social media. Do they regret losing me? Be honest, this question is a heavy one, isn't it? It sits on your chest at 3 a.m., because on the other side of that question is the validation you're craving. It's the proof that it wasn't all in your head, that the connection was real, that you mattered. You just want to know that they feel something. You're waiting for the grand gesture, the 10-page text confessing their undying love, the rain-soaked apology at your door, the "I made a terrible mistake" phone call. I'm here to give you the clinical, unvarnished truth. That is not how regret works, especially for someone emotionally avoidant. Their regret, when it comes, is almost never a loud, accountable paragraph. Regret isn't a paragraph. It's patterns, it's quiet, it's indirect, it's often confusing, and it's almost always rooted in their self-preservation, not your healing. So today, we are going to decode the real, quiet signs of their regret, the ones you're probably missing. And then I'm going to show you the critical difference between their regret and their intent to reconnect, and how to handle it in a way that protects your hard-won peace. 1. The psychology of avoidant regret. Shame, not accountability. Before we can spot the signs, we have to understand their internal landscape. For a person with avoidant tendencies, their entire operating system is built to avoid two things: engulfment, feeling trapped by intimacy, and shame, feeling fundamentally flawed or bad. A direct, heartfelt apology, "I messed up, I was wrong, I hurt you," requires them to face both. It's the ultimate act of vulnerability. It forces them to sit in their own shame and admit they were the cause of a failure. For their protective system, this is psychological kryptonite. It feels terrifying. So, their regret doesn't manifest as repentance, which is accountable, action-oriented, and focused on your pain. Instead, it manifests as nostalgia, anxiety, and self-soothing behaviors, which are private, low risk, and focused on their discomfort. They don't ask, "How can I fix the hurt I caused her?" They ask, "How can I stop feeling this uncomfortable emptiness in me?" The quiet signs you're seeing are almost always them trying to answer that second question. They are not brave attempts at reconciliation. They are low-effort attempts at emotional regulation. 2. The quiet signs, indirect monitoring and nostalgia bait. Once you understand they're trying to self-soothe with minimal risk, their confusing behaviors become crystal clear. Sign number 1, indirect monitoring, the digital ghost. What you see, they are one of the first people to watch every single one of your Instagram stories, but they never reply to one. They don't respond to your DM, but they'll like a photo you posted 6 months ago at 2 a.m. Or they're suddenly looking at your LinkedIn profile. The clinical decoding. This is the one-way mirror. It is the ultimate low-risk, zero-vulnerability way to get a hit of you. They are gathering data. Is she moving on? Is she with someone new? Does she look happy? Does she look sad? Your stories give them a dose of your energy and a sense of connection, all from a perfectly safe, anonymous distance. That 2 a.m. like on an old post, that's a classic sign of them being in a moment of late-night loneliness or nostalgia, scrolling through your feed and accidentally hitting the like button. It's a digital slip-up that reveals their private monitoring. Sign number 2, monitoring by proxy, the spy network. What you see, your mutual friends casually bring them up. "Hey, I saw your ex the other day. They asked how you were doing. They said they hope you're well." The clinical decoding, this is data gathering with a shield. They don't have the courage to face your potential anger or pain, so they use a neutral third party. It allows them to gather information. How is she? And simultaneously plant a seed they know your friend will tell you they asked. It's a way of saying, I'm still thinking of you, without having to actually say it or take any responsibility for the consequences. Sign number 3, nostalgia bait, the breadcrumb of us. What you see, a text out of the blue with a link to an article you'd like, a meme that references an old inside joke, a Spotify link to our song with no other text. Or they post a throwback picture on their own story of a place they know you both loved. The clinical decoding, this is nostalgia bait. They're in their rosy retrospection phase. They've forgotten the pain of the conflict and are only remembering the comfort of the connection. They're tossing this breadcrumb out for one reason, to see if you'll bite. If you respond with emotion, OMG, I remember that, or I was just thinking about that song, you've just given them their answer. Yes, you still have an emotional hold on me. Yes, the door is still open. It's not an invitation to talk. It's a test of your availability. I want to pause here, because if you have ever received one of these signals, the story view with no reply, the friend check-in, the random meme, and it sent you into a spiral of analysis and false hope, go ahead and hit that like button. It's an acknowledgement of how real and painful these indirect, low-effort tactics are. 3, the great trap. Confusing regret with reconnection intent. This is the most important part of our entire conversation. This is the pivot point for your healing. You must understand the profound, non-negotiable difference between their regret and their intent to reconnect. Regret is a feeling. It's passive, it's self-focused, it's about their loss, their loneliness, their discomfort, the quiet signs we just discussed. That's what regret looks like. It's a low-effort attempt to soothe that feeling in themselves. Reconnection. Intent is an action. It's active, it's accountable. It's focused on your pain and the relationship's health. Regret sounds like, hey, thinking of you. Reconnection intent sounds like, I have been in therapy and I now have the language and awareness to understand the ways I hurt you. I want to take full responsibility for my actions without any expectation from you, because you deserve that. Do you see the difference? Regret wants access. Reconnection. Intent is willing to do the work. The greatest mistake in the healing journey is to see their regret and interpret it as reconnection intent. When you see a story view and think, he wants me back, you are building a fantasy out of a breadcrumb. You are setting yourself up to be hurt all over again. And if you are ready to stop building fantasies and start building boundaries, if you are ready to stop accepting breadcrumbs and demand the whole meal, then I invite you to hit that subscribe button. Consider it a commitment to raising your standards and protecting your peace. 4. How to respond without reopening the wound. So, what do you do when you see these quiet signs? When the story view pops up or the hey text arrives, your goal is not to win. Your goal is not to get an apology. Your goal is to protect your healing. The healed response, the most powerful, effective, and self-respecting response to these low-effort signs of regret is nothing. Not an angry, stop watching my stories. Not a strategic, performative silence where you're anxiously waiting for them to notice. Just nothing. You see the story view, you see the breadcrumb text, you observe it, you label it for what it is. Ah, there's their regret, that's their loneliness showing, and you go on with your day. Why this works? It gives their regret no fuel. Your emotional reaction, positive or negative, is the fuel they are seeking. It's the win. When you give them nothing, their breadcrumb falls flat. It offers them no relief, It forces them to sit with their own discomfort rather than using you to soothe it. It protects your peace. You are not reopening the wound. You are not restarting the texting anxiety loop. You are keeping your nervous system calm. It communicates power. It non-verbally communicates the most powerful message of all. My life is no longer about you. Your attempts to get my attention are no longer relevant to me. I have moved on. Their regret is their work to do, not your validation to receive. Let them sit with it. Your only job is to heal. 5. The real validation. Let's end with this. You came here asking, do they regret losing me? Because you want validation. You want to know you mattered. Here's the real validation. Your worth was never, ever up for debate. Your value is not determined by their inability to see it. Your value is not defined by whether or not a person who was too afraid to love you properly misses you now. The ultimate goal isn't to get to a place where they regret it. The ultimate goal is to get to a place where you no longer care if they do. That's when you know you're healed, when their hey text arrives and you don't feel anger or hope. You just feel neutral. You've become so focused on building your own beautiful life that their validation is no longer a prize you're seeking. You are the prize. This is Dr. Cola B. Thank you for doing this deep, reflective work with me. If this message gave you a new perspective on regret and helped you reclaim your power, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And now that you've learned to stop seeking their validation, it's time to learn how to sit in your new, unfamiliar peace. I want you to go watch our next episode, Why Peace Feels Boring Until You're Healed, because it's the perfect follow-up to this conversation. Remember, their regret is their journey. Your healing is yours. Don't get the two confused. I'll see you next time.